Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mercedes with Many Hearts Counseling. And today's video, we're going to be talking about what really happens when someone walks away from us. Why you are not actually being rejected. What really happens when you experience that feeling of rejection? What is really taking place behind all of our unhelpful perceptions, unhelpful core beliefs, and how the universe actually has our back in that moment. So first of all, thank you so much for all your comments and your ideas for videos, because sometimes I just run out of ideas what to talk about. So when you give me specific topics to discuss, it actually really helps me. And I do specifically get these downloads from source energy about what the answer truly is of what happens behind the scenes of our challenging situations in our lives. So, and it is usually pretty bang on with what I have learned in school. So it's actually quite beautiful, just all how it all comes together. So without further ado, we're just gonna dig right into this topic of what really happens when you feel rejected. And I'm gonna be looking at my notes because I wanted to make sure that I had typed out everything and I don't forget to relay the message in its truity. So say that you meet someone, and then when we are still on our healing journey, or we start to feel uncomfortable when we meet someone and we get triggered. Triggered is when you start to feel uncomfortable from within. Your body starts to maybe get tense, or it starts to go into anxiety, or you start to overanalyze everything and overthink your actions with this person because you or that person who is now potentially like a romantic partner, because right now they're a romantic interest, if the potential romantic partner is the best mirror to what is going on from within us. So when you start to feel the anxiousness and you're waiting literally for the other shoe to drop because you have been operating from the core belief of I am bound to be abandoned, I am bound to be rejected, much like me. This was a belief of mine that ran really deep within my nervous system, within my being, within my soul. This was the predominant energy that I was putting out there with the masculine energy. So it made sense why it would actually manifest, because that was my actual expectation, that the other shoe would drop. And as soon as they got to know me, they would pull away. And my thoughts would always be overactive about anything and everything that I did. Full anxiety. Am I texting too much? Should I be saying this? And then you want to be connecting, but then you're scared to be connecting because you're scared you're going to push them away. But literally just me being in that vibration, I'm already doing that. I don't have to be texting too much to actually push that person away, because that is literally my vibration. So say now you're understanding your journey and you say to your person, oh wow, I am feeling my anxious attachment wound, or my core belief of I'm bound to be rejected, or my abandonment wounds, they're present and I feel them. And as a result of that, this is how I am feeling, right? I'm going to choose to talk about the way that I feel, as opposed to say when you're getting to know someone and maybe they're not communicating with you to the amount that you would like to, or is your style of communication. So I wouldn't say things like, you never text me, I'm always the one that's starting the conversation. Why don't you do this, or why do you do that? I would not do that now. Maybe I did when I was younger, because I didn't really understand about nonviolent communication. That is always more effective and always more helpful to me as well as a person when I speak about fact, how I feel. So the fact is, this relationship is triggering my abandonment wound. And as a result of that, I start to feel anxious and not comfortable in my body. And then my actions, my behavior of that is to just to be a weirdo, like on the other side of the interaction. Like I'm just not going to be myself. So if there's a love interest present in your life, and say that this is your core wound, is that you're bound to be rejected, bound to be alone, bound to be abandoned, and you voice this because you're feeling it, so you speak in nonviolent communicative ways, and that person is not able to hold you in your new vibrational being, right? Because there's the unconscious phase where we walk around planet Earth and we almost have like an expectation of other people to save us, right? Like Disney fairy tales. Oh, the Prince Charming is gonna come on his white horse and he's gonna come get me and we're gonna live happily ever after. And like that actually doesn't really exist. Like you're your happily ever after. You're your prince on your horse. Like you're gonna gallop your way to your whole self, back to where you had started, back to the self that you were born, that self that already knew who it was. And it did not become the things that other people told it to. Sorry, it did not become the other things that other people told it that it is. So our mission in life is to become that whole and complete version of ourselves again. The version of the self that was born before it started acquiring and listening to what other people told it that it is. That it is not good enough, that it is too fat, it is too this, too ugly, will never amount to be anything. You can never do this, you can never do that. The true self of you, before other people told you who you are, knows that you are limitless and knows that you have like an abundance of potential in anything and everything, as long as you can believe that within yourself. I feel like I went off topic here for a little bit. They're all related, but okay, so back to you recognizing, so now you're no longer this unconscious being that doesn't understand core beliefs and is just projecting what's going on from within to other people. And, you know, feeling sad and being like, why are they like this with me? And why are they like that with me? No, now you're conscious and you're like, holy shit, my abandonment wound is triggered and this is how I'm feeling. And as a result of that, this is my behavior. And if that person can hold you in that space, they're not a match to your new vibrational self, the vibrational self that is aware of your wound. So this person is just a catalyst to help you release that wound. So how are you going to release that wound? It could be through breath work. It could be through energy healing. It could be through affirmations. It could be through meditation. It could be through journaling, scripting, narrative therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. All these parts of ourselves, the mental self, the emotional self, the physical self, the spiritual self, it all holds hands together. And it is a known fact that 95% of our programming runs subconsciously. So breath work and energy healing, Reiki, all these sort of things are also really beneficial as well to heal the body, because the body runs, like the nervous system is an automatic, it's an automatic system. It just does everything automatically. So it makes sense that it is like subconscious, right? It runs like subconsciously because it's just automatic. So like enter a new relationship, boom, like you fall into the same neural pathway that it already like knows to signal, like danger, you're bound to be abandoned, you're bound to be alone, you're bound to be rejected. Like that's what it knows, that's what it fires. And then, you know, you try to protect yourself with overthinking, overanalyzing, and all these other things. So going back to the point, if you're able to express this and your person now leaves you, know that you are not left or rejected. What is actually happening is that person is not matching your new awareness, which elevates your energetic field around you, and they will just fall off, right? Because the law of attraction is by assertion, like attracts like. So if someone comes in, reflects to you your wound, you express your wound, that person runs for the hills, or however it is that they show up, because they're also triggered. It's not just only us that get triggered. It's always 50-50. Like, people just get triggered with each other. Like, if everyone just understood that and took ownership of what's happening for them, then this world would be so harmonious, because people would always just take accountability for their actions, and there would be no finger blaming or finger pointing and blaming. Like, that would not just exist. And why would you want to be with someone like that in the first place, when there is another possibility of being with someone who can self-reflect on themselves and how they're showing up, and therefore can match that new version of yourself? Because I would feel abandoned, per se, if someone walked away from me in that moment, but reminding myself that this person is just naturally falling off my vibration because they're just not a match to my current vibrational being in this moment is a lot more helpful. But it actually also is a lot more true. So you have the power. So you don't have to mourn this person as if they were going to be the one to complete you or to fulfill you and all these other things, because that also doesn't exist. You fulfill yourself. You can fulfill yourself. You can give yourself all that you need. It's just using what other people are showing back to you that is challenging your nervous system, and then going about and healing that. So then you can attract in the person that can hold you in that vibration, or that will be a match to your new vibration. It can hold you in that expression of self. Like, when you're expressing what is going on from within you, and the other person is able to hold you and cuddle you in those, because you're also able to hold yourself in your emotions and your triggers, instead of going down the path of what's wrong with me? Why am I still acting this way? Why can't anyone love me? If we can hold ourselves in those challenging emotions by feeling them to heal them, by doing the work to untwist them, by releasing them, whatever it is that you feel called to do, to act upon that specific trigger, then that is the biggest gift that you can take from that interaction. It's not the person. It's the gift that they give you to elevate yourself to a better version of yourself. And then know that there is going to be another someone that will come in, and you never know, like, maybe this new someone will be able to hold you in that space. And imagine how beautiful that would be. Imagine how beautiful it would be if you are able to express your wounds, and that person is able to say, I got you, babe, or I'm here, I'm listening, I'm present. Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. Let's talk about it. Tell me more. Like, imagine that this is what it was like. So if this relationship can exist, let this be your Bible, your compass, your incentive, your vision of what you want to get to. And whether it's going to be that same person or somebody else, we just never know. Universe does its thing. Universe is really good at just showing us our triggers through people and or situations. And then it's our job to heal those things so we can become the best version of ourselves. And every time we elevate ourselves, we change the frequency of vibration around us, and we bring in different situations and or people to show us exactly where we are. So that's all it is. I want to make sure that I did not miss anything. Yeah. Yes. And remember, every time that you feel upset about someone leaving you, that is a potential love interest or was a potential relationship, when you are upset about someone leaving you, that's just your inner child feeling upset about the possibility of having the experience that it never had a chance to have with its parents. That's all excuse me, that is. And in that moment, you can give yourself that hug, like your inner child, you can give yourself that reassurance and that hug and that kiss and that warmth and all that love, because you have its back. You have your inner child's back. It does not need to wish and hope anymore that its primary caregivers were different to it and is wishing and hoping to be receiving that love from anyone else outside of the self. It's all in here. You got this. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Any questions, comment, concerns, please. I always love them. If you need to further talk, all my contact information is there. Thank you to all those that have reached out to me so far. Please don't stop. I love hearing from you, and I'll see you next time.